So, it's been 20 years since one of my favorite consoles of all time has been released, and that's the Xbox 360. It came out 22nd November 2005, and to this day, I still play games on my 360, mainly because it's the only console I have that works, and also I don't have a PS4, PS5, or anything newer than that, and also I don't have a PC that can reliably run modern games at a good rate enough to enjoy the new games that are coming out. But anyway, with this officially turning 20 in November of this year, I decided why not take a look back at the last 20 years and look back at the games that came out 20 years ago for the original Xbox that really set up the way that we were going to go forward with the generation going into the Xbox 360. Okay, so let's kick things off with a game that's a part of a series that was just remastered recently, or like added a new game to the series, main title, whatever, and that is Ninja Gaiden Black. So now is as good a time as any to talk about Ninja Gaiden, as it just got a remaster or got another game added to the franchise name, which is Ninja Gaiden Black 2. And I just wanted to talk about what made Ninja Gaiden Black such a good game, a good standout game when it came out back in 2005. So first of all, never mind the best Xbox games from 20 years ago, but Ninja Gaiden Black is one of the best games, period. Coming out in September 2005, made by Team Ninja, this was the game if you're a hardcore gamer. Before Dark Souls had people turning into eldritch horror beings because of how hard it is, this was the ruthlessly challenging, head-aching, controller-smashing game that people played. It had redesigned gameplay, more material, and a challenging mode that teases you for dying more often. Ninja Gaiden Black, released in 2005, is the game's ultimate version, building upon the already fantastic 2004 Ninja Gaiden. So this was truly the best version of Ninja Gaiden back then, well, until the next one came out. Alright, so I'm gonna be keeping this list short and not really going that much in depth into everything about the games, but I just want to quickly mention things about the game, talk about it, and see how much of an impact it had. Alright, so the next game I want to talk about is an absolute classic game in platformers, and that game is Psychonauts. Psychonauts is the debut game from Tim Schafer's Double Fine, and let me tell you, this is honestly one of the most creative and interesting and unique platformers ever created. From the characters like Raz and the unique bizarre fun levels that these guys crafted, this is definitely one of them ones. It's like you can feel the passion that was put into creating this game and making it what it is, and that is a cult classic. But it's by no means a perfect game, as it has a difficulty curve that's incredibly erratic, but the characters and storytelling was a big stark contrast and really rival those of anything released 20 years ago in the space of being a platformer game. And all I can see is that the game is an instant classic. Hell, I think all the games that I talk about in this video are classics. At least I think they are. Now, the next game is a blend of two things I really love, which are Star Wars and video games. So obviously, I have to talk about Star Wars Battlefront 2, the one that came out in 2005. So with the modern Star Wars Battlefront not being able to satiate the need for true intergalactic space battles between some fancy wizards and stormtroopers and rebels and whatever, the best thing to do would be to go back to this classic to get that feeling that's been missing in these Star Wars games. Much has been made about the failures of the modern Battlefront games already, and just the failures of EA as a whole. The classic titles though remain an absolute delight in their original state. Now, these games represent the charm of Star Wars in a way that few others wish they could, which is why the re-release of the original Star Wars Battlefront collection was so enthusiastically received by fans and by me, because I love Star Wars and I love the Battlefront games. Now, the reason these old Battlefront games are so good and so highly reviewed is because they let us live out our fantasy, or my fantasy, of being a Jedi or a Sith or a Han Solo or Mace Windu or Lando, and just being in that Star Wars universe and having access to these abilities that made these characters really likable and just put you in that feeling of being a true Jedi, or being like Luke Skywalker fighting against, the dark side and others and Sith and such things as that. and doing all that without worrying about a battle season pass or any progression grind was just very well made and masterfully done and really fun. But for some reason nowadays, modern developers can't unlock the formula of multiplayer Star Wars games. In reality, all they really have to do is look to the past. But with the way things are going right now, developers are more obsessed with carving out a niche or taking something beloved and making it their own, and then just jacking up the prices and messing everything up and making it more profitable for them, while it's being not really as fun for the consumer to enjoy. So what I should do is I might as well pray I get some money to buy a Quest 3 or something and get on Blade Sorcery and play that Star Wars mod and just upload it to YouTube for you guys. But anyway, now the next game is one of the most important racing games that came on the scene to challenge Gran Turismo. And obviously this is an Xbox video, and the only exclusive Xbox racing game title I know of is Forza Motorsport. Now this is the first ever Forza Motorsport released in May 2005 for the OG Xbox. Forza Motorsport is a true sim racer akin to Gran Turismo, not a mix of sim racing and arcade racing like Project Gotham Racing, which was another exclusive for Xbox. Forza Motorsport focused more on being a true sim racer and giving players the experience of being a real driver at home through the power of the consoles. Forza offers the complete customization that exists within the game. You can drive superpower cars, yes, but you can also take a Mitsubishi Eclipse, my dream car, or at least one of them, and tune it to your heart's content in order to race with said supercars. And obviously, as expected, Forza Motorsport rivals any other Xbox racing game that was released in 2005, including Project Gotham Racing 3. And like every other sim racer, it's a visual dream that offers the best graphics possible. Now the next game is an underrated game that doesn't get the same love or recognition as the other games made by the developers who made this one. Because when you're talking about 2000s BioWare, you think of Knights of the Old Republic, Dragon Age, and Mass Effect, which get all the limelight, and there's good reason for that. These games are awesome games. They're amazing. We love them, and they're just like, the cherry on top, chef's kiss. You can't improve upon them any further. But unfortunately, however, a game like Jade Empire, a 2005 Xbox exclusive, doesn't see the same recognition as the other games mentioned. It's a shame because it's just as good as these classics. Now the combat isn't really as refined or couldn't really reach its full potential, but it's still a good game, and in a BioWare game from the 2000s, what people care more about is for its story and characters, and Jade Empire delivers this in spades. And following up with the RPGs, the next game I want to tell you guys about is an RPG game that's beloved by its fans for this specific generation that it came out in, like the Xbox OG and 360s, and that game is Fable: The Lost Chapters. And now, Fable: The Lost Chapters is just more Fable, which is a good thing. Now you're asking, what is Fable? Now, Fable is an action RPG game that was made by Blue Box Studios and released back in 2004, taking place in a fantasy world called Albion. We control an unnamed hero who joins the Heroes Guild after losing his family during a bandit attack on his hometown. Upon leaving the guild, the player is given a choice to decide whether the hero should live up to his name and be a hero, or guide him down a path of darkness. And that's one of the things that makes Fable such a good game and such a replayable, fun game to play. It was how they let players truly be free and go down either path without being too restrictive. It also just got generally good reviews from critics and everyone because of the quality of gameplay and just overall how the game was executed. Now, there was, however, a failure on the devs' part to produce many features that they promised they were going to put. But here's where Fable The Lost Chapters comes in. The Lost Chapters features new questions, areas, gameplay, and more, which the devs had promised, which built upon Fable even more, enhancing on what already was a borderline perfect RPG game that anyone could have asked for back then. And to this day, few can manage to make a game like this again and get a reception like this. But yeah, I think that's all the games I'm gonna talk about now, because there's some I didn't want to mention because I didn't play them, but I also haven't played these games because I'm not that old to have experienced the original Xbox, or like, you know, I can't find an original Xbox to get all these games. But I do have a 360, but it's not modded, so I can't really port these games over, but I want to. So I think after a while I'll try find a modded 360 and get these games working, and then stream them or make videos on them for you guys, just show you actual gameplay and just have fun, because it's 2025 and I still don't have a modded Xbox, so like, what am I doing? But anyway, if you guys enjoyed that video, that short list, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe, and tell me what you think. Tell me any games that you remember from a long time ago that were really good. You can tell me from any generation or whatever, and you know, just start a discussion. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.